I am so excited to be finally introducing to you guys the Steve Flick training saddle and tell you all about why I chose this fantastic company. While we were up at the Congress, my friend Emma and I actually took the opportunity to see all the saddle options in person at the vendors there. Steve was fantastic and actually let me try this saddle on Diesel and take it for a test ride. As we were learning more about the saddles that Steve makes, I was honestly immediately sold just from the structural differences in his design comparing to other brands. The biggest selling point to me was the close contact tree, and I could honestly feel the difference the first time I rode in it. Another huge bonus to the saddle was that it was lightweight enough that I could actually get it up on my 18-hand horse. The fenders were also super easy to adjust, but they were also the other biggest selling point to getting this saddle. The fenders actually come with the stirrups already turned out, so you don't have to go through the really painful process of trying to break your saddle in and destroying your knee joint. I personally have an old injury from a horse falling on me that damaged my hip, knee, and ankle, and so far I haven't had any pain from riding in this saddle, which is extremely rare for me. This saddle has a full quarter horsepower tree, and I really like how well it sits on Diesel. It doesn't flop around too much, doesn't move around too much, and really stays with his movement. Now I want to go back to talking about that close contact tree and what made me choose this saddle over the other brands. My English saddle that I show in is a close contact tree, and I know that's true for a lot of other people too, so it only makes sense for me to ride in the same thing at home. My horse really loves that close contact feel that goes from my lower leg, my upper leg, my seat, everything. That difference in the tree allows him to feel every single change I make in my aids, from when I ask him to extend with my seat, as seen there, and then I can bring him right back with my seat and legs, and he feels all of it and responds to it. I also love that this saddle allows me to put my leg in the correct position and keep it there, which is a huge thing for people who ride at home in the Western saddles and show in the English saddles. It makes a huge difference when you practice the same as you show. And of course everybody wanted to know why I chose this saddle over the other big name brands. I'm not going to name any names, but I will talk about my experiences with those saddles. I'm not gonna lie, my intention was to go with the big name brand, but I did have the opportunity to ride in a friend of mine's, actually a couple of those saddles, and I did try out the other saddles up at the Congress. I sat in them, I looked at them and everything else, and honestly, most of them felt like I was sitting on top of a box. I really felt like I was riding on top of the horse instead of with the horse, and it was not comfortable at all. This saddle has a really comfortable seat. I feel like I can move with the horse and it doesn't hurt to keep a close contact. Overall, I am beyond thrilled with my purchase of the Steve Flick training saddle. I've ridden 3 different horses in it in the time that I've had it, and every single time I love it even more. So if you guys have any questions on it, feel free to comment. I'll leave the link to their website below so you guys can check it out. Seriously, do yourself a favor and check out their saddles if you're in the market for a training or show saddle.